Justin, talk to me.
I will put $1,000 on the line if you can beat me in Street Fighter 4.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. I would put,
I'm down.
I'm down too.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I would put $10,000 on the line if you can ever beat me in Street Fighter 3.
I'm Tasty Steve. This is MenaRD.
That's stare down, baby. MenaRD, Evo Japan champion.
This is Justin Wong. Justin Wong, once again, at the top of the mountain. Two legends of the FGC are sitting down face to face to debate the hottest topics, and I'll be deciding the winner of each round. Let's face off. Do you guys believe that Prime Justin Wong would be able to beat Prime Mena? I am going to start with Mena.
I think it depends on the game.
I'm talking Street Fighter.
I think, with the knowledge I have now, Justin, of course, he's a legend. He has a chance. He has a chance, of course, to beat me. But I will say, with the knowledge I have now, even in Street Fighter 4, I will win. That's what I think. Because 5 and 6 are a given, because in 5 he stopped midway and all of that. I kept going. 6 he's not competing. But even in 4, I will win. 3, I'm not sure. I've never played that game, but who knows?
Okay, well, Justin, talk to me.
I will put $1,000 on the line if you can beat me in Street Fighter 4. I would put $10,000.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. I would put.
I'm down.
I'm down too.
I
would put $10,000 on the line if you can ever beat me in Street Fighter 3. In Street Fighter 5, I beat him multiple times. He also beat me multiple times. In Street Fighter 6, we never played. Like I said, I don't play. But I watch him so much that I know his weaknesses. And every time I'm like watching it, I can guess right on what he's going to do. Even though people are saying he's unpredictable. But like, for example, if he plays Blanca, the chances of him holding up back to do OD airball is so high. At least 70%. Look, he's laughing. He knows. 70% of the time. And you don't know that. You stopping me?
I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping.
70%.
The rules.
That was an okay. I'm going to say something right now.
70% of the time. 70% of the time. So the fact that all these newer players are so dumb to try to keep grabbing him in the corner, it makes no sense. Because I'm like, bro, can we get the meaty crouch heavy punch? You know, just give him a meaty jump. You know, a meaty, so he can not hold up back anymore. And you know who does it though? Who does it right? Fudo, the DJs. That's why the DJs cook him right now, right? Because they get hit by the crouching heavy punch all single day. So in my opinion, I think if I was playing, I see weaknesses so commonly, even now as a commentator, that I would be able to enforce it if I was in my prime self.
Don't be invoking commentators over here, bro. You know what I do for a living, all right? I saw what you did there. I'm gonna strike that last one from the record. Strike that last line from the record. I ain't like how you did that. Mena, what's up?
Look, as he talked about my weakness, like I grew up watching fighting games too, right?
Talk to me.
You only said Street Fighter, I will also beat him at Marvel. And you know why? These players were so dumb, they never blocked low. He always went low, that's all he did. Did the empty jump with Wolverine, always went low. Like that's it, even if the assist is there, he's never gonna go high, he's never gonna press the launcher and hit you overhead. So I know all he did with Rufus, I know all he did too. Like it's just a lane player trying to go back, he's never gonna really interact. With this new game, do you think he's really gonna guess right? Justin Wong, come on, man. Like, I'm telling you.
Oh my God, it was so salty. Oh my God. Bro, wait a minute. He said, I watched the tape. I'm gonna hold this down because that's not my vote. He said, he's like, I'm watching the tapes. I know he's gonna do up ball with Blanca. My man said, I watched the Marvel tapes. They never block low. Look, all right, look. Oh my God. I'm gonna be real. This is a really hard question. If I had to say prime Justin, look, we talking nostalgia. I gotta go with Justin. I gotta go with. I'm sorry, you know I love you.
Sound good.
But I gotta go with the nostalgia, bro.
I'm just saying the next video for Face Off, we do the first to 10 for
The
Street
first
Fighter 4.
to 10
Street Fighter 4. We're gonna do
This
it.
is content in the making right here. Content in the making. Being on these big stages, you guys have seen them both on both sides of it. And I have seen them personally because I've been on stages with both of you after winning. Who has the greatest pop-offs in victory? I'm gonna start with you. Talk to me.
Overall, or
Overall, between
us
you
two?
and Justin, between you and Justin, if you win, who's gonna have the greater pop off?
I think overall, like consistency-wise, pop off. Like I pop off more often. I pop off more aggressively.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you
And
do.
I have the stomach, the cutthroat. I do
Yeah,
have.
you
I had
be
my
going
own
off.
jump.
You be
Yeah,
going
I
off.
have the pop off consistency, but he does have the most legendary one, the barrel, where he actually like fractured. Like I don't know.
I'm
he
not
messed
trying to
himself-
laugh. I promise
he
you I'm not
messed
laughing.
himself up. So his pop offs are not really like crazy, but then he has that one. Like he went crazy and rolled. So
Wait.
overall, I'm gonna give it to myself, pop off wise. I'm a known pop offer, but he has that one.
I'm a known pop offer.
Yeah,
I want that on the bumper sticker. I'm a known pop offer. Look, I want y'all to know I'm actually adding my 2 cents to this. But Justin, go off. Talk to me, bro.
Okay, so I like Mena's pop-offs. I love this. This thing was so good.
When he hit the...
Yeah, so
Bro, I was like,
It's
am I
so
Dominican?
good.
Oh, I would have been like, that's how I felt.
it's so good. But my thing about his pop-offs is that he usually, it's not close sets. He just wins and dominates and just pops off. That doesn't count as a pop-off. My pop-offs were like me beating Chris G, who has won all these tournaments. He was the favorite to win. That was a pop-off. There was the 1 year you commentated when I made the comeback against Chris G in 2013. I heard your voice like Justin Wong.
Bro.
Like that was a pop-off. That was a hard-earned pop-off.
Yes.
So I personally think I have hard-earned pop-offs because I make crazy comebacks. While Mena pop-offs, he pops off, he pops off
Dominant
often,
victories.
dominant victories. So I think my pop-offs mean a lot, and that's why he mentioned the barrel roll. Even though it's funny, I didn't fracture my leg though. You know what I mean? It went numb. It went numb. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So, all right, look, before we move on to the next one, I want you to know you can check the footage, bro. Bro, I was behind you, bro. It took a lot for me not to just die laughing. But the roll off, when you hit the artist roll, I was like, that is the most masterful. I wanted to applaud you, but I just wanted you to know I'm never gonna forget that a day in my life. I gotta go with the barrel roll, bro. So I'm gonna say Justin, it don't matter who's right on this. I'm gonna just say that barrel roll lives free in my head for the rest of my life. I feel like one of the most, and everybody loves it except for Justin. Daigo's parry at Evo against Justin being the greatest moment in Street Fighter history. Justin, go.
If you think about it, it is I would think it's the greatest fighting game moment in history. Because one, I feel like if that moment never happened, would we be here right now doing this face-off episode? Right? Because a lot of the
That's
things.
your legacy?
I mean, unfortunately, I have a lot of bad legacies where I get the meme, I get the moment 37. But in general, I think the moment 37 changed a lot of people's lives from like that era and even now. Even though I'm on the losing end, the fact that we have so many people coming up to like just first timers coming to tournaments. Hey, like I watched this moment and I wouldn't have gotten the fighting games if I didn't see this moment. Right? The fact that it also became the #1 esports moment of all time. Like something from a handy cam, like like America's, America's Home Funniest Videos, those giant like dad cams, like that was recorded by Seth Killian. And the fact that that moment in general is able to beat all these crazy League of Legends, Dota, Counter-Strike moments, just like this old 480p.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Like, I think that's really tells you a lot about just like how important this moment is, how it changed my life, it changed Daigo lives, and it changed everybody else that's pursued fighting games in general. So, I mean, without that moment, I mean, there are so many more amazing moments out there, but I just don't see what's stronger than that one in particular.
What are your thoughts? Do you feel like that's the greatest fighting game moment ever?
I feel that's the greatest esports moment ever.
Ooh,
And I feel like it's actually underappreciated because people
talk
don't
to
really
me.
understand how hard it is. It's something you will only see one time in your life. But I do want to shine some light into a mother moment, because I wasn't actually there. I just grew up watching it. But I feel like Evo 2017, 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗦𝗜𝗔, I do feel if Punk had won, that was the passing of the torch right there.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the old generation versus new generation extended for multiple years, even now, just because 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗦𝗜 won and the way he won.
Oh, free.
Because
Yes, I am.
Street Fighter 5 came out, everybody's talking about the new games. Punk is destroying everybody.
Smoking people.
If Punk had beaten 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗥𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗦𝗜 right there, that was it. I feel like the torch was going to be passed right there. And it's beautiful about how it happened, how the old generation was able to fight back and show us like everybody here gets to play. It's not only the younger ones.
Yep.
So that was like the most beautiful mother moment. No moment is going to top Evo moment 37, I feel like, in this life, because I just appreciate what happened, right? But I do feel that one was the most important Street Fighter moment out of all these years.
Man, okay. I love the way you put that. I feel like, see, you guys are agreeing too much, so now I gotta spice it up a little bit. Now, and this goes earlier back to what, kind of what you were saying. If we fast forward it or rewind it and we put Prime Mena there, would Mena be Daigo in that instance, or would he be Justin? Justin, go.
Would Mena be Daigo?
Would he be the one that parried, or would he be you in that instance, losing because he got parried? I hate to make you think about it like this, but you said, look, when we talk about Mena's victories, it's him smacking people. There's not much contention. But in this instance, that was like a fight to end all fights. You know what I'm saying? Do you think in that situation it would be him on the receiving end of that parry, or him on the receiving end of that counter?
I actually believe Mena would parry everything because he is a perfect parry god. So the fact that he perfect parries everything in Street Fighter 6 already, and also he thinks ahead of the game. So he probably also would like, oh, I know he's gonna want to chip me out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I truly believe that's like he's not the lame player. He's rushed that down. Like he's the bull. So if there's the beast, that's the bull. So I do think that he will also be the Ken to parry it all.
He just lifted you up like God.
I mean, it's true. That's what I personally think. I personally think he will parry. Like if it was Punk, if I was talking to Punk, he would be the Chun-Li trying to chip him out because he's a more defensive, lame, neutral player.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
MenaRD, aggressive, more rush down, thinking about the future, thinking about the offense. So. Yeah, and the perfect parry god, so I have to give it to that.
What can I say?
Look, I'm gonna agree with Justin. I feel like that's one of those things.
I agree too.
Look,
I
I gotta agree. Look, and the way you broke it down, man, that makes a lot of sense. It plays to like just both of their different play styles and just how they play against each other and just how the game unfolds overall. That is a good one. That is a good one. Yo, is this a staring contest? Oh, who blinked? Yo, staring contest right now. Do it. Oh, they doing it. Come on, what you like? Why you break?
Why are you commentating, bro?
I'm a commentator. That's what I do. You know how we do in the FGC. Like, we have to have like small little quabbles to see who, where your mindset is. Who would win in an arm wrestling competition right now? Go.
Oh, I would lose.
You lose? Then you just go forfeit? You
bro,
ain't even try, bro.
That's the bull.
That is the bull.
That is the bull.
That is the bull, though.
I will lose.
So you'll give him that victory.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Would you take that?
I'll take it.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's the case,
I got risk to take care of,
Yeah. I'm old, 38, arthritis. You know what I mean?
You got insurance. You got a baby to hold.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
you. I feel you. All right. Okay. With that one, all right. Since
my leg game is better though.
The leg game is better.
My calves is kind of nice. Actually.
Oh shit.
Yo, my calves. Next one is a race. Y'all ready right now? We just clear out the. No,
I might get the race though. Actually,
we can do it. We definitely can do it right now. I'm down.
No. We're gonna keep it civil, okay? We stick to the digital violence,
okay.
All right? Let's move away from the battles. You guys are scooting closer and closer together. The table started to move, and we knocked over signs. We need to take this a little lighter, all right? So, obviously, we've all had our story, our history in the fighting game community, right? And I feel like we all have seen our fair share of amazing things, right? But I want to know personally from both of you, what is the greatest achievement in fighting game history?
I will say the greatest achievement in fighting game history for me, it will definitely be the 8 Evos Justin Wong has, because I feel like it's just undisputable. There's nothing you can say about it. And everybody, all of the great players have like great titles and great matches that they did, but nobody has even come close to having 8 Evos. So I feel like, with all due respect, like it was his game, it was Prime Justin, the best in Marvel 2. But at the same time, this is not really relevant. Like if you're able to do that in any game, then that's just too much. And that's the main argument of the people that think he is the GOAT. And if I said Justin is the GOAT, I have the 8 Evos in my head. And I feel like not many players have something so big,
Bro, I can't. That's real right there. That's real right there. I know. We just came from battling each other, and he giving you mad praise. But I got a follow up after this. But what is the greatest achievement in fighting game history? You got a lot of them under your belts too. So whichever one you choose, I just want to hear the story. I want to know.
Man, I feel like the greatest fighting game accomplishment is just so hard. Like I really think it's hard, but okay, for me it's
there you go.
You know, I appreciate the compliment from MenaRD, but I'm gonna go away from that. I think it's for me it's 2008.
Okay.
John Choi winning Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo and CVS 2 in the same year. So he won 2 Evos.
No, that's real. That's
Really?
He won 2 Street Fighter Evos in the same year, and he beat Nuki in ST, beat Japan in ST,
yeah, that's
and he
real.
beat Boss in CVS 2 Grand Final. So he won 2 Evos,
John Choi.
won 2
Choi, the
Evos.
Fireball
That's
God.
the last time NA has ever won Street Fighter. No, like USA has ever won Street Fighter at Evo. So I think that's personally the greatest fighting game accomplishment, and not a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
He's the only player that has won 2 Evos in 1 year,
Yeah, I mean.
like in the same tournament.
Is that even, like, can we run that back? Is that gonna be, we gonna be able to do that again? Man, I love that it started off with like praise, but I also like the fact that like Justin was like, yo, you can take me like out of the equation, and like there's still things that exist out of that. So I'm sorry I gotta go against you one more time.
No, it's okay.
But,
I didn't even know.
like, no, for real. Dog, John Choi, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, to this day, bro, like still be online playing fighting games and mystifying people with how well he can throw a fireball. People still don't be like, this dude was walking forward. Like they really don't even get it, but John Choi is a legend out there.
The year before I won the second Capcom Cup, he gave me some advice because I asked him about fireballs, and it was crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, he can write a
He's
book
a
about
legend, bro.
fireballs. He can write a book. Shout out to John Choi,
Shout out to
man.
John
Shout out
Shout out
to
to John Choi, the fireball god.
Let's talk about, and this still goes to the old school versus the new school. Older tournaments versus newer tournaments. With everything that we've just put on the table, the fact that you can go on the internet and see it, the fact that you can go and look at people's replays, the fact that you can easily go to upload and reload tournaments and go to YouTube, the whole nine. Do you feel like older tournaments are harder? Because obviously I was with you watching the fact that this was popping up in the back of a magazine. I only knew people by name, not gameplay. But this is a little different for us now. Literally, we can just turn on, you can go to Twitter. I can open my phone and see tech. Do you feel like tournaments now reflect the fact that it's easier to be better at fighting games now, based off your opinion?
I believe tournaments are more difficult now. And the good thing about tournaments is not like skill, it's just facts, it's numbers. Do you feel the culture regarding fighting games have changed a lot in Japan, or is it the same? Like they just keep playing fighting games?
I feel like the changes that they use, it's made them better because they've made a stronger community.
They're
off
actually
of it.
better now, right?
Yeah, they are, because
So,
they made it a community.
Listen to this, because they're actually better now. Back then, you dropped one Japanese, he won the tournament right away. Here we have 50, 60 Japanese, they're losing. So that's just facts, it's just numbers.
So you're saying with that alone, just the fact that we have so many international players, especially on the Japanese side of things, specifically for Street Fighter, that should tell you that fighting games now are a lot harder because of that.
It's facts, because you remember, like, for example, and I see, you know, I respect, because of the times, what happened.
Yeah.
Back then, you had Daigo, you had his manager that made top 16 because, you know, and you had, like, his coach also made top 16, but Daigo will win the tournament. And if somebody put up some fight, took a game or two, that's it. But if I come to Evo right now, I lose to Daigo, is it an upset or not? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a good point, but no, I'm going to come to you on this side.
I've been
obviously.
dying to talk. Right.
Well, I appreciate you holding yourself, you know what I'm saying? Being respectful.
I've been dying to talk. So 100%, I think the Japanese fighting game community is worse now. It's worse
Really?
now because you know why?
Really?
Let me tell you something.
Talk to me, Justin.
Bro, no,
Hold on,
let me tell you
wait,
something.
wait, no.
Evo Japan,
Okay.
the one that MenaRD won. Congratulations, by the way. You know, you're a champion. You know what I mean?
What a legend,
You
what a
are
god.
a champion.
I see you,
But
a legend.
But you're not going to tell me those pools were not the most freest pools in the freaking world. Those pools were so easy. I had friends that I'm like, I don't even play this game, and they got out of pools at Evo Japan. So based off of that, when you think about it, and I lived in both ends of the spectrum, right? Seeing the Street Fighter 6 player playing ranked matches, any top international player will go to Japan and they'll get the #1 CFN spot because the points there are free, easy to get, right? So one, easier to play currently, and the Japanese FGC community is much weaker because back in the day, when you think about Third Strike, when you think about CVS2, when you think about ST, nobody in the world,
air in Japan.
yeah, no other country in the world can beat them in those respective games, and that still holds true up to this day. Even if the community, currently the community, right, has grown so much online for the older games, more than now. Third Strike at Evo is the most entrants ever in Evo.
Okay.
But you know what? ultimately in the end, Japan is going to dominate.
What are your thoughts about what Justin just said?
So, first, you know, with all respect to the legend right here, he's assuming a lot. He's saying, oh, you know, they get #1 in CFN. It doesn't mean they're playing the best of the best in Japan, right? So usually I see the best players in the world go to Japan, they actually get cooked. You know, I see it. Japan is the strongest region in the world right now. Even if they're losing most of the events, that tells you a lot of how strong they are. And another thing is, and this is the main argument I'm gonna tell you, and this is why I believe facts. You're telling me Japan is weaker right now. Every single world title I've won, if in Japan or Asia, I haven't seen the Americans at the finals. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if they were as weak as Justin is saying, why am I meeting them every single time at nighttime, at Sunday, every single time?
I gotta give somebody the argument. And look, I'm of the old school with Justin, but I gotta give it to Mena on this one. I'm looking at these tournaments and I'm seeing Japanese players still come out and do work, regardless if they're not winning. So when you said that, that's when I was like, oh, he's looking at this. Even if they're not winning, the fact is they come out and they are holding up every pool that they're in. There is not a tournament you go to that if you're going, even if you go to Europe, you're gonna be like, yo, is there any Japanese players there? That's who you're looking for. Justin, trust me, I'm right there, I feel you, but we gotta move on. We've talked about games getting easier. We've talked about the fact that, you know, it's easier to see any person's resources and replays. But let's talk about that modern aspect of it. Do you guys believe in the next 5 years that arcade stick will be obsolete? Justin, go.
I love arcade sticks. You know, I still use arcade stick to this day. I can use pad. I can use leverless controllers as well too. It's just, I don't think it's going to be obsolete.
Okay.
I think leverless controllers are really good for Street Fighter games, but for Marvel games or like fast-paced games, air dashing games, I think ultimately joysticks is the better controller for them in general. I think pad can play on everything. Pad is definitely the controller that can play everything. If there are more collections coming back, like the Marvel 2 collection, then stick will always reign supreme, because I do think pad and leverless are actually trash on older games, because
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, because modern games have easier inputs. That's why leverless controllers and pads exist. But older games with more like just like restricted inputs and everything, kind of more delicate, and you have to be frame perfect, joysticks is always going to be the better option. So if there is maybe a Capcom collection for CVS coming back, or a Third Strike revival, joystick all the way. No matter what, I don't see any other controller replacing the top players in the top meta in the older game.
And you are a championship controller user. You talked, I love to hear how you would respond to this, because obviously I feel like you're right there in that spot where it's like, there's a lot of leverless talk. Like, I feel like I see more leverless than I do regular arcade sticks these days. What are your thoughts on it?
I do feel it all depends on where the games actually go. So if they have like simplified inputs like modern, or I don't know if you've seen like the down inputs for the DP in Street Fighter 6, then I do feel arcade stick is gonna become a little bit rare to see. It's never gonna be obsolete because of the history, you know, and what he's saying, like retro games, we can always go back and play them. But I do feel if the inputs keep going that way, the way they're heading right now, then there's no reason to not play keyboard or pad. And even if, like, I still have I do believe we might move away from buttons. Like, that's sadly the future.
Connect our brains.
Yeah, maybe touch, maybe like cell phone.
Buttons,
yeah,
brains.
So everybody is like trying out like cell phone games and all of that. And when the time comes, I'm gonna be one of the ones like, this is not a real fighting game, you know. But I think it's inevitable. I think it's gonna happen with the simplified inputs. So yeah, I do feel there's gonna be a moment where seeing an arcade stick is gonna be like, wow, you know, you still have one of those?
All right, so with that being said, I am a man of the old school heart, right? And I really have to say, I gotta be real, Justin. I 100% agree with you, bro. Like, for me, like, I'm an old school arcade rat. Like, that's where I started. I do feel like it's nostalgia, don't get me wrong. And I see where it will become a thing of dinosaurs, but also, I feel like that will be the pure. Like, I feel like that will be the purest. And I don't think it's a bad thing either or, in all honesty. Personally, I love seeing arcade sticks. I get nostalgia. I'm like, my man's rocking a Moss stick over there, or he's rocking the, you know, I love seeing that. Hitting the deck will never not be something that's nostalgic to me, but I agree with you, Justin. You got me on this one. Justin, you'll have some expertise in this, but I would love to hear your opinion. I'm going to start with Mena. So old school arcade players are better than modern players. Talk to me.
Yes.
Yo, cut, clean, simple, yes?
Yes, because I've fought them both.
Yeah.
And I've seen the new players, like what they're doing, the young players, even my generation. And the focus is all about abusing the mechanics, having the reactions ready. The old players, you can tell when you fight them, the focus was fundamentals, neutral, controlling the spacing. And as soon as I fight an old player, I have a hard time. Because I know, like, I really have to focus and not whiffing and not walking too much and not giving him a pattern that he can recognize. So, I don't know. I feel like young players are better at, like, playing faster and reactions and all of that. But overall, I'm going with the arcade players for sure.
Justin, give me your expertise, sir.
How am I supposed to argue about that? You know what I mean? How am I supposed to argue about it? Like he mentioned it on Twitter recently about how like old school players just have a stronger mindset than most newer players. And I mean, he's right about newer players having, they play faster reaction time and everything because the modern fighting games are really all about the faster reaction times. But I think there's something with the old school fighting game players where there's a lot of instinct in their heart when they play. It's not just frame data. And I think the new school players, they rely too much on the frame data.
They need the numbers.
Yeah, so they don't have like the heart of like taking the read, making the right decision, making all these different interesting scenarios happen to kind of like confuse the opponent. So I think old school players are better in terms of that regards, but newer players are better at executing what the game is supposed to tell you how to play the game.
Yeah, they're definitely, and what I was gonna say was they're definitely better at like abusing the system to get the win rather than the fundamental side that was initially there. All right, hold on. We gotta, and like I said, I have to agree with my bro Mena, and obviously you already agree with him as well. I love the fact that you are from like the newer era and you have that understanding. That's one of the reasons I really resonate with you because I could talk to you about stuff like this. And you understand like that there's a lot of moving pieces to it. It's not saying 100% is set in stone. Everybody has their own opinion, but I'm glad to see that there is a general consensus among some of the people that share the same mentality. So that's a good part there. Here we go. This is a real-time matchup instance right now, okay? Justin, hit me with the heart meme real quick. Complete the heart meme. Boom. Oh, that's history right there. I like how he was like, it was like the superpowers connected right there. That was beautiful. We need to get that in slow-mo. That's what we need to do. Now, we're going a little bit overtime, a little bit off script, because look, we talked about the topics that are always talked about on the Twitters and the X's. So now, I want to ask two of the GOATs, who do they believe is going to be on a Street Fighter fighting game Mount Rushmore? But the way we're going to do this, we're going to let each one of them choose one, and we're going to go back and forth. And I'm going to start with MenaRD.
Well, for sure, my first pick is definitely 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗥𝗢𝗡𝗥𝗦𝗓𝗓. You know?
Daigo
Uehara. He's definitely gonna be there.
Okay. Daigo for Mena. Justin, who we got next to Daigo on the fighting game Mount Rushmore is?
Well, if I had to choose my GOAT of all time for Street Fighter, Tokido.
Tokido. We were just talking about Tokido. Tokido number 2. Daigo for Mena. Tokido for Justin. Number 3 on the fighting game Mount Rushmore. You're gonna take your children to see this.
I'll go with this. He didn't play 4. Okay. He didn't like it. That's the issue, right? That's the main thing. But I feel because of his dominance in Third Strike and also how good he was in Turbo, I would put Onuki there. That's just how I feel. I feel like he just dominated Tokido too much. Yeah, I think so.
Justin turning his head, adjusting his body in his seat. Onuki next to Tokido, who is next to Daigo. The last person on the fighting game Mount Rushmore is Justin.
I have to go with my favorite fighting game player of all time. It has to be Momochi.
Momochi to round it off?
Momochi, bro.
So just all Japan. That's where we at?
The thing is, I think Street Fighter is just so much. Because there's so much history, so much games. And I think that there are obviously a lot of strong players from different regions. But maybe if it's like Street Fighter 7 or Street Fighter 8, then we can like kind of like include more internationals. That's just my personal opinion. But from the results that they did in the SBO, just Evo and Capcom Cup, because I mean, Mochi, I mean, the Nuki, I'll be honest, I'm surprised on Nuki one. That's a big surprise for me, because I don't think I would put Nuki up there, me personally.
Okay, look. That's why we did the 1-in-1. That's why we did the 1-in-1. Well, now that we've gotten through all our questions here on the Face Off, it's only right I have to designate one winner. And the winner of FGC Face Off is Justin Wong. A lot of great points made between both of these legends, these contenders. But look, we can only have one winner, and both of them made a lot of great points between the two. And I agree with them on a lot, but we can only have one winner, and that is Justin Wong. Everybody watching, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more content like this, check out our other videos on PlayStation Esports.
PlayStation